course.
Welcome back to Fast Money. Aurora Cannabis hitting its highest level since October, up 14% today as the cannabis company announced it is bringing on hedge fund manager Nelson Peltz as an advisor. Leslie Picker has the details on this budding friendship. Leslie.
A budding friendship indeed, Melissa. Who knew the word strategic advisor could have such an effect on one company's stock price? Nelson Peltz's new role at Aurora sent that stock soaring today. Aurora says Peltz will help them explore potential partnerships and advise the company on how to expand globally. In exchange, Peltz has been granted options to purchase about 20 million shares at a price of 1034 Canadian dollars per share. Those options will vest over 4 years, and that vesting can be accelerated if the company meets certain targets. But having Peltz aboard is also a strong vote of confidence for Aurora. He said in today's release that the cannabis company is strongly differentiated from its peers and that it's well positioned to lead the development of the industry internationally. The benefits appear to be mutual. Peltz has a long history in the consumer world. He's currently the non-executive chairman at Wendy's, a director at Procter & Gamble, and he previously served as a director at Heinz and Mondelez. Gordon Haskett Research Advisors said today in a note that Peltz's connections at Mondelez, Pepsi, and potentially even Procter may have appeal to Aurora. Gordon Haskett believes today's news makes cannabis stocks more investable, adding that they think Peltz's bet was serious and not some, quote, lark that emerged from a smoke-filled room. Analysts have noted that Aurora shares would have to triple for Peltz to reach his strike price. Melissa.
All right, Leslie, thank you. Let's trade this. I mean, that was the first. We spoke to the chairman of Aurora this morning on Squawk Box, Michael Singer, and he talked about sort of the relationship. But I mean, the wealth of expertise in consumer products, you can't ignore that.
Look, you think Nelson Peltz, I think Procter & Gamble, and when I think cannabis, this is truly a consumer product story, and also as you get into hemp, et cetera, and CBD oil. So it makes total sense. Now, people think about Nelson Peltz, they also think about an activist, and so that's not what's going on here. But what's interesting is that Aurora has arguably been the most acquisitive, or basically a company that's used their stock, has been on the acquisition trail, certainly has been out there looking to bolt on new companies. So someone like Nelson Peltz really gives them a lot of additional expertise to a company that was already out there looking.
I think this is a great opportunity for people. This is a name that you need when you have, that's a great front man, right? I mean, when you're looking around the cannabis, there are so many stocks to look at, so many different choices, and what direction you want to go. But I think the diversity of what this company offers, and Nelson Peltz being the front of it, boy, that certainly says a lot. And I think this is just the beginning right now for this.
I mean, this also underscores the institutionalization of this sector, right? When you have a big, well-known, well-respected investor like a Nelson Peltz get into cannabis, you know.
Look, every conference I go to, the institutional investors, the consumer products guys, the biopharma guys, sector-specific, mature industries, they're there.
And he understands brands. I mean, quickly. I mean, he was Snapple guy back in the day, right? I mean, so he gets the brands thing. And
did you work for Snapple?
I never worked for Snapple.
Really?
You
didn't
I would have had you for a Snapple
guy.
I
feel like you have had the hand card with the...
No, you know, I should have worked for... You know, my favorite... Now we're getting off topic, but they made a mint Snapple, which was tremendous. They've taken that off.
Tea or just mint?
No, mint Snapple. I digress.
Doesn't sound good.
I'm not surprised they don't make it anymore.
This is my fault, please.
You know, now Nelson Peltz has had roughly a 2.5, 3-year relationship with Procter & Gamble. You wonder how that sort of blends in, and I think it makes perfect sense to Tim's point. With that said, I think Procter & Gamble is way over its skis here at close to 23 times forward earnings at an all-time high in the stock price.
Yeah, but I mean, they really need a guy like this in terms of the brand, the partnership, to have a national brand, right? Well, in CBD.
Well, here's what's going on. So again, remember the Farm Bill, which had the hemp component, which made it basically federally legal for people to set up hemp and CBD businesses. We still have the FDA, obviously, with Scott Gottlieb leaving. That has put a little bit of change, although the new appointee, or so it sounds like, is very CBD friendly. We'll get into more of that. But the bottom line is, for anybody that's looking to immediately have a U.S. footprint in a consumer brand, they don't have to worry about the federal restriction. And I think that's very important. And in fact, Aurora can come here and do it. It's listed on the New York Stock Exchange, by the way. If they started dabbling in U.S. businesses in the illegal, or in the cannabis market, that would be a problem for this company. But they don't need to. And with someone like Nelson Peltz out there, again, Mondelez, Wendy's, I mean, think of all the big consumer products companies that this guy's
They all kind of go together.
Right?
Well, I mean, it depends how you think about that.
CBD is a non-psychoactive, right?
Right.
The health benefits.
I'm a big CBD guy myself.
CBD Fritos.
By the way, we've had some great paper, actually, option paper in that world as well, in particular in that stocks in Aurora. So it's interesting to see what's going on in that space.